Living with Tourette syndrome. What is it? Tourette syndrome is a neurological disorder where the brain basically sends signals to the body to make unwanted repetitive sounds and/or movement. These are called tics and can be found in two different categories: vocal and motor tics. Vocal tics are what they sound like, repetitive sounds and words. These also have a subcategory called corpolalia, where things like swear words or taboo subjects are said, while motor tics are unwanted movements from all over the body. I personally have both motor and vocal tics. Tics are usually triggered by stress, anxiety, and excitement, but of course this depends from person to person and isn't the same for everyone with Tourette syndrome. As an FYI, this video is not to be used as a form of diagnosis. This is just my personal experience from over the years and may not be true for everyone. I encourage you to do your own research. Okay, back to the video. How is living with Tourette syndrome been? I've been living with Tourette syndrome since 2021 and it's been 5 years, so I've got a thing or two to say about it. The early years were hard. My most common tics were my head jerking to the side, my arm jerking up to an acute angle, grunting, and chirps. Well, you might be thinking, can't you just keep them from coming out? Yes and no. I can hold them in, but that just prolongs them from actually happening, and they end up hurting more. It's very painful to keep them in and strains my muscles too much. What helps calm them down or prevents them? This one's tricky because this can depend on anybody. Personally, I take medication to help lessen them without the pain. I've been on it since 2024, and it's helped a lot. Another way to help is to avoid triggers. Things like anxiety or stress can be a trigger for those with Tourette syndrome. Also, another thing that I've personally found to trigger my Tourette's is caffeine. So I try to avoid it as much as possible. But when you live in Washington State and there's a coffee shop at every corner, it's pretty hard. And of course, stretching your muscles helps them from tensing up. My arms are what tick the most, so I often stretch them. A final thing about them is to not think or watch videos about them. I don't know the science behind this, but I found that thinking about them triggers them a lot more. And talking about them is no exception. How did Tourette syndrome affect my relationship with friends and family? At first, it was pretty scary. I was around 12 to 13 years old. A lot of them thought I was faking it for attention, which was the last thing I wanted. I was a very shy and insecure kid, but this made it a lot worse for me. Why would I fake something that was actively making my life harder? That was the biggest question that I had at the time. My family has grown to accept it over time, and I've never been happier. But as for my friends, they were pretty accepting right off the bat. It took some adjustments, but they were respectful. Many of them tried defending me from others and bullying, which I am grateful for. I was the target of a lot of bullying. I've also had some awkward moments with my tics, because I'm just out in public doing whatever, and I'll tick, and some people just look at me, and I'll look at them back, and it's like a little weird, because they don't know what's going on, but I do, but I feel too awkward trying to explain it, even though 95% of the time, they'll be understanding. And when I'm with my friends and family, I can't imagine how odd or strange it may seem to witness it, because they're not small little tics, nor are they quiet, so sometimes we just look at each other and just have a little giggle. For this next segment, I'd like to share some of my funny encounters with friends and family that I've had regarding my Tourette's, in which my tics will be presented as a little jingle sound. So, what was that? I don't know. You tell me. What was that? That was like some weird cough or sneeze. Now it's like a secret third thing, you know? Secret third thing. Wow, I just love hanging out with my friends. Blah 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 blah. Blah 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 blah. Why didn't you guys help me? Dude, we thought you were ticking out. We didn't want to like embarrass you or anything. Are you being serious? Oh my god. So now, back to the title of the video. Tourette syndrome. Debilitation or the ultimate cheat code. I'm not gonna lie to you, Tourette syndrome is very, very hard. And I'm sad that it's been tainted by people online who fake disorders. Because this is a really hard disability. There's like zero benefits to faking Tourette's, or faking any disability whatsoever. I don't get why people do it. But regardless of that, when you surround yourself with the right people, it becomes a little easier to live with. And again, I really need to preface that, but I am not a professional, I am not a doctor, and this is not to diagnose anybody with anything. This is just my experience. And if you also go through Tourette's, feel free to comment your experience. And if I got something wrong, please comment. I don't ever want to accidentally spread misinformation online. Okay, well that's all for today. Be sure to subscribe. I'm currently working on a big video project with multiple different artists. So if you subscribe, you can stay tuned and see what that's all about. Bye!